diamonds are forever. They are all I need to please me. They can stimulate.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Diamond Consumer, your go-to source for everything you need to know about the world of diamonds, jewelry, and beyond. I'm your host, Miss Diamondz, and today we're diving deep into a topic that's been shining brighter in recent years: moissanite, along with other popular diamond alternatives. Whether you're shopping for an engagement ring, a special piece of jewelry, or simply curious about the options out there, this episode is going to give you the lowdown on these sparkling stones and help you make an informed decision. But before we dive in, I just want to say, if you're thinking of buying a diamond or any gemstone, it's important to be an educated consumer. And that's exactly what we're about to do today. Break it all down for you, from the science behind the stones, to the pricing, to how they compare to the natural diamond. So grab a cup of your favorite drink, get comfy, and let's get started. Now, let's start with the most common and classic of all stones, the diamond. You're probably familiar with the phrase, "a diamond is forever." This gemstone has held a special place in society for centuries, symbolizing love, commitment, and wealth. And, of course, its natural rarity and hardness make it highly sought after. But here's the thing: not everyone can afford or wants to buy a diamond. And that's where diamond alternatives come in. Today, we're going to focus on one of the biggest competitors to the diamond, moissanite. We'll also touch on a couple other alternatives, like white sapphire, that are gaining popularity. So let's begin with moissanite. Moissanite is often touted as a diamond alternative, but let me tell you, it's not just any diamond imitator. This gem has a unique story. Moissanite was first discovered in 1893 by a French scientist named Henri Moissanite. He found tiny crystals in a meteorite crater in Arizona. Yes, you heard that right, a meteorite. Pretty cool, right? So moissanite wasn't even originally from Earth, but it turns out that it's extremely rare in nature, so nearly all moissanite on the market today is lab-created. Now, let's talk about why so many people are choosing moissanite over diamonds. The first reason is price. Moissanite costs a fraction of the price of a natural diamond, yet it has a similar look and sparkle. You're probably wondering, what makes it so sparkly? Well, moissanite actually has a higher refractive index than a diamond, meaning it has more brilliance or that eye-catching sparkle. Some even say moissanite sparkles a little too much. For those who love a showy, dazzling ring, moissanite might be the perfect choice. But let's get into the nitty-gritty. While moissanite does look like a diamond at first glance, there are a few key differences. First, its hardness. Diamonds are the hardest substance on Earth, scoring a perfect 10 on the Mohs hardness scale. Moissanite, while still very durable, scores 9.25, making it highly resistant to scratches, but not quite as tough as a diamond. Still, that's better than many other gemstones out there. Another difference is the color. While diamonds come in a range of colors, from colorless to yellow or even brown, moissanite tends to have a faint, slightly greenish or yellowish hue. Now, this is only visible under certain lighting and may not be obvious to the untrained eye. However, if you're someone who loves a perfectly colorless gem, this is something to consider. Next up, let's talk about white sapphire, another popular alternative to diamonds. White sapphires, unlike moissanites, are natural gemstones. They come from the same family as rubies and sapphires, so their composition is a bit different than moissanites. White sapphires are known for their elegance and understated beauty. They are clear, and their lack of color gives them a pure, classic look, which is why they're a popular choice for those seeking a more traditional aesthetic. However, when it comes to brilliance, white sapphires don't quite measure up to diamonds or moissanite. They have a lower refractive index, meaning they don't sparkle as much as the other two. This may be a pro or a con, depending on what you're looking for. White sapphires are also a bit more affordable than diamonds, but generally they're still more expensive than moissanite. They are durable, scoring a 9 on the Mohs hardness scale, so they're pretty tough for everyday wear, but not quite as durable as diamonds. One important thing to keep in mind with white sapphires, however, is that they tend to show dirt more quickly than diamonds or moissanites. This is because they have a rougher surface, which attracts oils and dirt more easily. As a result, you may need to clean a white sapphire more often to maintain its shine. On the flip side, diamonds and moissanite have smoother surfaces that resist dirt accumulation to some extent, keeping them looking cleaner for longer. So if you're someone who doesn't want to fuss too much with cleaning, this is definitely something to consider when choosing a gemstone. Now, let's talk about another diamond alternative you might not be as familiar with: white topaz. White topaz is a beautiful, affordable gemstone that many people overlook. Unlike diamonds, moissanite, and sapphires, white topaz is a naturally occurring gemstone and is actually quite common in jewelry. So why choose white topaz? Well, it has a brilliant sparkle, and while it doesn't quite match a diamond or a moissanite in terms of brilliance, it's still a very attractive option, especially if you're on a budget. White topaz is often used as a substitute for diamonds because it has a similar appearance, especially when it's cut well. However, there are a few things you should know before deciding on white topaz. First, it's not as durable as diamonds, moissanites, or sapphires. It scores 8 on the Mohs scale, which means it's a bit softer and more prone to scratches, especially if worn daily. White topaz is also more prone to showing dirt and oils, similar to white sapphires. So while it can look dazzling when clean, it might require a little extra maintenance to keep it looking pristine. That said, white topaz is an excellent choice if you're looking for something affordable and sparkling. It's perfect for those who want the look of a diamond but don't want to spend as much. Just be prepared for a little extra care when cleaning it. So, there you have it! Everything you need to know about moissanite, white sapphire, white topaz, and diamonds. Whether you're looking for a beautiful, budget-friendly option like moissanite, a timeless classic like a diamond, or something natural like white sapphire or white topaz, there's a perfect gemstone out there for you. Remember, the best choice depends on your personal preferences, budget, and values. You deserve to feel confident and educated when making a decision about your next sparkling purchase. Thank you so much for joining me on today's episode of The Diamond Consumer. If you found this information helpful, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with someone who's looking for some jewelry insights. And remember, your sparkle is unique. Choose wisely. Until next time, I'm Ms. Diamondz, and you've been listening to The Diamond Consumer.